In this video, we're going to look at the legislation that relates to agreed ways of working and the types of things that can cause confrontations in the workplace, how to reduce the risk of them happening, and when they do happen, how to resolve them. The legislation and agreed ways of working in relation to reporting any adverse events, incidents, errors, and near misses within your organisation are the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974, the Health and Social Care Act 2012, the Equality Act 2010, the Safeguarding of Vulnerable Groups Act 2006, No Secrets 2000, General Social Care Codes of Conduct 2000, which gives guidance on agreed ways of working, individual job descriptions that give guidance on agreed ways of working, and individual company policies and procedures taken from government guidance and legislation, again to give guidance on agreed ways of working. Some of the factors that can cause confrontations in the workplace include a lack of staff training, a lack of staff empathy with customers, visitors and colleagues, a lack of respect between staff and management, an individual's own hang-ups, for example, an individual staff member or customer who's openly racist towards others, a disparity between an organisation's policies and an individual's own ethics and morals, and complaints about staff from visitors, customers or other staff members. Communication can be used to solve problems and reduce the likelihood or impact of confrontations in the workplace by ensuring that all communication, both written and verbal, is clear and understood by those receiving the information. All verbal communication should be backed up with written confirmation in either typed or legibly written formats. Regular communication should take place, such as handover meetings between shifts. All staff should have a good standard of both written and verbal communications. The organisation should ensure that all staff follow procedures for communicating between one another, such as by using care plans and daily logs. In confrontational situations, you should take the following steps to assess and reduce risk. Make sure that any disagreements are aired in a calm, safe environment where no one can be overheard by other staff members or customers. Ensure that mediation can take place with an appropriate independent person. Make sure that each individual has the same opportunity to present their case, and ensure that all cases are recorded in accordance with company procedures. To find further advice and support about resolving conflicts, you can go to your line manager directly, send your line manager an email, contact Citizens Advice if appropriate, or contact local voluntary organisations by phone or email. The agreed way of working for reporting any confrontations includes going directly to your line manager, making bullet points to submit to a manager or a mediator, and following company policies and procedures, especially the complaints procedure. Never try to resolve a conflict or complaint yourself. Now let's find out how the staff here at Deacon Star deal with complaints and conflicts.
Factors that make confrontations in the workplace. When you get people working in such a high-stress environment, like the care sector, when you're working with mental health, when you're working with people who have learning difficulties and autism, it can be so stressful on the people who are caring for them.
What would make things difficult would be lack of communication, staff not handing over vital information, tales being told.
It's inevitable that you do get tittle-tattle and whispering corners, and it happens in every organisation. We shouldn't be doing it. We have to support each other to work together to be able to give our clients the best. And that means no tittle-tattling. It means good staff training, a good open communication between staff members, supervisors, managers and staff. So an open and honest environment that can promote well-being for not only the clients but the staff themselves.
Good communication is very important to solve the problems because it could be something tiny that could solve a massive problem.
Communication's vital. In our sector, usually it's 24/7 care. You have different shifts. So you have what we call handovers.
When I was in the houses, you'd have 10 minutes to do the handover before the new staff started. You look at all the support plans. If anything is kicked off, you'd look at how to resolve it.
So it's about that really specific communication to meet the needs of each individual client, open and honest communication of what's going on, changes the procedure, staff training, to make everything as up to date as possible.
Effective communication is crucial in sorting out dilemmas in the workplace. If we can document things efficiently, if we can do assessments efficiently, and we can communicate the responses and the information needed to make an informed decision, we would be acting within accordance with the Mental Capacity Act.
At the end of the day, It's the clients that matter. It's the service users. It's their lives we're in this to make better. And that's what we're about. So everything we do has to be geared around that.
The steps I would personally take to reduce confrontation between people in the workplace. Everybody would be given the choice to air their opinions and views. Everybody would be given the same guidance, so there would be no favouritism shown.
One thing I've used in the past, which has worked really well, is getting the two colleagues together in a quiet, safe environment where each one of them has a chance to talk rationally and openly and honestly about their feelings and about what the problem is.
Things can be discussed, but in a controlled and calm environment rather than maybe outside of work after a shift where things maybe could get heated, and if the correct people aren't there to mediate, things maybe could get out of hand or blown out of proportion.
And I think that if you did that without taking it to the next level, then those colleagues have a better chance of working together more productively in the future.
For advice and support around any conflicts, I think for everybody a first line of call would be the registered manager.
I think your managers would help you a lot. That's what they're there for, to help solve your problems as well in the workplace.
But then if you didn't feel like you were getting satisfactory responses from them, there would be your local citizens advice, and there's also services such as ACAS.
You could go to your local social services. If it's a safeguarding issue, most social services now have an 0800 number that you could ring for confidentiality. You could even ring the Samaritans for advice, local voluntary organisations such as MenCap or Mind. If it's something to do with self-harming or substance abuse, you might want to go to NECA or NERAF or some other voluntary organisation that deals with substance abuse. You could also go to the CQC, ultimately the Care Quality Commission, for advice should all else fail.
And they could all help towards pointing you in the right direction of, if you were unsatisfied with the resolution that you've been offered or given, to take it to the next level really.
It would be laid out in your job description how you would actually report any confrontation within your organisation. And each organisation's reporting system is going to be slightly different.